Today's relaxing anti-aging practice, this is truly one of my current favorites. I feel like I'm always evolving in terms of what is my favorite, and I hope you like this one. What you need, these are suggestions, okay? 2 blocks, I'm sitting on one, got another one here. Yoga blanket. If you like something a little extra, this is a rolled up hand towel. If you watch my other videos, I like to put that right underneath my neck. And then the little secret sauce is these meridian pressure brushes. You don't need these if you don't have them today, but you will probably want them after. And just for the record, I'm not an affiliate of any of these products. They're just things that I like. I don't sell anything but my services. Okay. We're going to start just by getting the yayas out, which is my phrase for throwing some of the rust off the body, some organic movement. And for you, this might look different than for me. Usually when I'm sitting a long time, I feel a little bit of stagnation in my waist and my low back. So I'm going to start here with some hip circles. I'm going to let my head be real loosey-goosey. Let's maybe wag our tails side to side. And stick out your tongue. Release any tension in your face. From here, let's take a few cat-cows together. So let your tail float up as if a helium balloon were attached to it. Open your throat, look forward, although your eyes can be closed. Draw a big inhale in through the nose. And exhale around the spine, let go of your head. If your wrists are barking at you at this point, you can always make fists. Again, inhale, drop the belly, float the tail, look forward. Exhale, round. And one more like that. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. Okay, I'm just going to shake those wrists out a little bit and come into our first pose. Now, first pose, we're going to go legs up the wall. So in order to make this more comfortable, because this is a relaxing anti-aging practice, we're going to take our blanket. Okay, quick little detour to how to fold a yoga blanket. You've got this long rectangle, okay? We're going to bring the long sides to the long sides, so you have a long rectangle that is even narrower, okay? From here, we'll bring fringe to fringe, okay? And then we're going to take this and bring it up to a wall, okay? I'm also going to move my mat closer to the wall. And then adjust my blankie. You could say, Catherine, you're being real fussy about things. I don't know. It's like, I think we all need a little bit more ritual in our daily lives. And when I'm a little fussy, but not too much, it makes me enjoy things more and slow down. Okay. So, if you want something underneath your head, you bring your little rolled hand towel. And this is probably the only awkward part of today's class, okay, is we're going to sidle up to the wall, make friends with the wall, hey wall, and then you're going to roll onto your back so that our legs are going to go up the wall, okay? Have your blocks within arm's reach, and also your meridian pressure brushes if you're bringing those, okay? Okay, here we go. And see if you want something underneath your neck. Okay. Oh, one thing I should say, depending on the placement of your yoga blanket, if you pull it out a little bit from the wall, this edge can be rolled, okay? Especially if you're a more petite person, can be rolled and substitute for this. It's just, I find a little bit of support right here at these 2 points along the occipital. The still point, I've written about those on my website. It's more relaxing to have some gentle, just a gentle hold right there. Okay. I'll take all the time to get adjusted here, okay? This might be a totally novel sensation for your body, for most people's bodies. Like I'm already finding that my thing needs adjusting. Yeah. I said I was fussy, right? Okay. And for comfort, I should say, your rear is not actually on the wall, okay? So when your legs go up, they're softly bent. If my rear was actually all the way at the wall, my legs would be straight and I would be in a hamstring stretch just by this pose. We're not looking for that, okay? This is called Viparita Karani in Sanskrit, legs up the wall. And once you feel like you've dialed in your props, okay, everything's kind of comfortable enough, release the fidgets. Let the heels just come to a comfortable height on the wall. Arms can be splayed out, palms up or down, although palms up is nicer. Let the eyes close. Release the tailbone into the floor like an anchor all the way to the center of the earth. Melt the back of the heart and the shoulder blades. We're going to take the fingers and just place them on the sides of the rib cage. It doesn't have to be perfect. If it's more on the front, that's okay. We just want some feedback delivered between breath and fingers here. So on your next inhale, we're going to bring some space underneath the fingers. And on your exhale, bring some softness underneath the fingers, emptying the breath. Inhale space into the side ribs. And exhale, empty, surrender, softness into the side ribs. Comfortable for your arms and shoulders, take your arms overhead, open up the back body, release the arms down. Bend the left knee so that the left foot can be entirely on the wall. We're going to set the right ankle on top of the left knee. Now, if you're already feeling a stretch right here, it's a mild to moderate stretch, and you want to be completely hands-free, take a block and find a way to wedge it underneath your outer right thigh in some way, okay? This is a chance to be creative with block placement. In this way, you can continue getting a stretch, glute and buttock, without having to use any effort in your hands. Now, if you want a little deeper stretch, just lower your left foot, let it slide down the wall a little, so your left leg is more bent and your right knee is coming closer to your chest. Lastly, if you're in the mood for something really active, a lot of sensation, you can remove the block, thread the hands through, hold behind left thigh or in front of left shin. I find personally it's sometimes nice to start off with deeper sensation. The area opens up a little, and then you want to kind of downshift to just something with less sensation, more passive, wedge that block in, raise the left foot, totally hands-free, open the arms, palms up. And with these more yin restorative type practices where we are essentially downshifting your nervous system, you want to celebrate anytime your body has a spontaneous yawn, sigh, any sensation of gurgling in the stomach, even a sensation of like, oh, I have to fart. These are indications that chi, prana, life force energy is moving, okay? And those actions of the body only come online when we've activated parasympathetic, when we are in rest and digest. It's the healing state of the body. So this is the big benefit of doing yoga, like, in the privacy of your own home, where you could just, let it all hang out or let it rip, as they say. All sensations of the body, just allow them to arise, should they want to arise. Okay. We're going to release that right leg back up to the wall and just take the second side. Left foot, left ankle on top of the right knee. The right foot is against the wall. Right knee is slightly bent. Probably have a baby stretch here in the left glute. You can also just prop your left elbow and use your hand like a platter, like a waiter holding a tray here. If you don't have blocks, if you want to do this practice and you don't have blocks at home, just rest your upper arm on the floor. Okay, let's go for some deeper sensation if you like. We're going to slide the right foot down so that the right leg is more bent. That's going to push our left knee closer to our body. Slightly deeper sensation in the left buttock. And let's do a different wrap this time. We're just going to take the right hand around the front of the right shin, the left hand on the left knee, and we're going to draw everything a little closer to the chest, the rib cage. This is going to be the most sensation. Yeah, that was a spontaneous, like deeper exhale / sigh. So as a teacher, it's hard to always have those when you're teaching and demoing. So I'm going to celebrate that little win right there. Okay, I'm going to go for a little bit less sensation. So my right foot is going to go back on the wall. I'm going to add a block underneath my left thigh here. Find a way to wedge it in so I can go completely hands-free and just let my whole upper body relax. Shoulders melting into the floor. Back of the heart supported. Underneath your neck is supported. Allow any tension in the head and the face to drain out into the floor, into the earth, away from your body. I'm going to remove the block and take my left leg back onto the wall. And here you might want to scoot 1 or 2 inches closer to the wall. Okay, totally optional. If you did that scoot, you probably have to adjust your neck roll. Okay, what we're going to do here is for the kidney meridian, which is all along the inseam of the legs, okay? The emotion associated with the kidney is fear, the kidney system, and water, okay? I like to take the blocks at the tallest setting, okay? And you're going to just use them as kickstands for your outer thighs. It might take a little bit of finagling here to find out where they're going to go. Yeah, you might have to hold them. But what we're looking for here is this passive stretch of the insides of the legs, which, when done this way, up against a wall, as opposed to seated, wide angle, forward bend, is so relaxing. And you might notice that as time goes by, your legs widen a little. You could probably hear my feet sliding. So I'm going to lower my blocks to medium. Still keep them wedged way up on my upper outer thigh bones. And this is about the extent of my range of motion here. My blocks feel very sturdy, and I can just open my arms and relax. Now, if you feel like the blocks are cutting into your legs and it's too uncomfortable, wedge some pillows, 2 throw pillows right here. Let the legs be really heavy. Let gravity open them up to the extent that's comfortable. And if gravity is pulling on your legs and it has now become a sensation of beyond, say, 4 or 5 out of 10 in your inner legs, please use your hands for some added bolstering of your legs. We are not looking to overstretch or even deeply stretch the inner legs in this practice. There was a stomach gurgle. I'm going to say personally, okay, when I first started this style of yoga, it was very non-dramatic. You know, if you've been a sensation chaser for the majority of your life, this style of yoga feels like nothing's happening. So that is why I celebrate these little wins where my body takes a spontaneous sigh, I hear it gurgle, I feel some electricity or pulsing in, some faraway limb like a foot or a hand. Maybe you don't struggle with that, and maybe you have already enough grace that you can drop into these passive poses and really embody them. And if so, congratulations. You're further along the path than me. Sometimes I still struggle with the stillness and the quietness that is being asked of my body and mind in these postures. At this point, it might be nice to take the arms overhead. Maybe stick out the tongue. Release any tension in the jaw, the head, or the face that might have accumulated here from doing something new. And lower the arms. We're going to bring the hands to the outsides of the thigh bones and guide the legs back up. Just let the feet or the heels rest on the floor for a little pause here before we go into my favorite pose of today's practice, okay? Okay. The icing on the cake, they call it pièce de résistance. It's the yummy, yummy, yummy pose. It's going to be reclined, supported, full happy baby. Okay, so you're going to bend your knees generously, similar to the last pose, but softer. Let the feet be on the mat, be on the wall, and use the blocks again as a wedge, just like in the last pose. And you can even hold onto the blocks with your arms. And the feet will probably eventually come away from the wall. You might have to readjust the blocks. The legs may continue to slide all the way down until just a little bit of the sole of the foot is resting on the wall. The thigh bones are totally held up by the blocks. Arms can relax, you can be fully hands-free.
Ready to come out. We're going to bring the hands to the outsides of the legs again. Bring the knees together. Move the blocks out of the way to either side. And then just roll onto your right side. You can pause here for a few beats. You could place the left hand on the floor in front of your face. Push yourself up. Take all the time, okay? You might feel a little bit fuzzy-headed. Not exactly dizzy, but fuzzy-headed. Like a woo-woo in your head. Okay. I said the last thing was the yummiest, but maybe it's the second to yummiest. Okay. You can do this with just your fingertips or the meridian pressure brushes, and I recommend taking your yoga blanket, folding it back. So fold side to fringe side, and then again fold side to fringe side. So you got this nice little stack. And this is just my OCD. I like to sit on the fold edge, not the fringe edge. Okay. So if you do not have meridian pressure brushes, what we are going to do next is called 10 Dragons Run Through the Forest, otherwise known as a scalp massage. Okay. Spread your fingers and place your fingers at the hairline. Begin to rake the fingers through the entire scalp. What is this good for? Oh, let me count the things. Okay, so it relieves overthinking. It brings blood flow to the scalp, nourishing the hair follicles. And we've just been doing a lot of inversions at the wall. Increasing blood flow to head, scalp, facial tissues. Okay. Okay, now, if you have the meridian pressure brushes, you put one on each hand. And the technique that we're going to use is the place and wiggle, and that is just so it doesn't pull out your hair, okay? Depending on the texture of your hair, it may be more susceptible or less susceptible to tangling. So I'm going to place and wiggle. Let your jaw be soft and hang. Remove, place, wiggle. I'm going to tell you guys, this creates an almost instant full body sigh. Yawning, spontaneous yawning. If you find a spot that has like a good hurt or even more of that full body sigh, maybe hang out there for some extra wiggles. I always tangle my hair, so go slow when you remove them. You might find that the area behind the ears where there's no hair, where glasses generally rest, is tender. There's some acupressure points there, so go lighter with the pressure. Okay, my left ear just popped. may spontaneously find yourself making all kinds of funny faces. That's how you know it's working. I'm going to do a class that's just with the meridian pressure brushes, okay? So it's just introduction to them. More spontaneous yawning. Okay. And then lastly here, we're going to just place them very lightly on the ears. Very lightly, okay? And you might like the finger technique, which is thumb and index finger. You're pinching pie crust or dumplings. We're going to start at the top. Pinch and pull. All the way down to the earlobes. And what we're looking for is a sensation of a flushing, a sudden rush of heat to the ears. I keep on adding things, and then we're going to place the hands firmly on the ears, shutting off the sound, and circle 3 times in each direction while keeping the hands in contact with the ears. Okay, release the arms, release any tension from your fingers, shoulders. Maybe shrug your shoulders a few times. This practice is so powerful, my eyes actually spontaneously water. Okay, now this is the perfect time for our last pose, Shavasana, corpse pose. Please get all the things to make it as comfortable a human nest as possible. So I'm going to bring a bolster, and I'm going to repurpose my yoga blanket for warmth. I'm going to use my little neck roll, but for sure get a pillow if you like that better. Settle in, my friends. Ultimate cozy coming up. Once your props are dialed in and you're feeling so comfortable, allow your legs to drape over the bolster if you're using one. Heel cups melting into the floor. Allow the fingertips to soften and let go. Even the fingerprints themselves dissolving. You're safe here. Shavasana. Begin to deepen the breath in your belly. Invite the arms overhead for a full body stretch. And maybe rotate the wrists and ankles a few times. Draw your knees into your chest and give your body a loving hug. Roll to the right side. Press up. There you have it, relaxing anti-aging practice. I hope y'all loved it as much as I did. This is my daily driver at this point. If you have any questions or comments or feedback, feel free to leave a comment below, and I'll see you in the next one. Namaste.